When New Zealand Rugby confirmed on Wednesday that Dave Rennie would take over the reins of the New Zealand National Rugby Union team, it brought weeks of speculation to an end and ushered in a new era for one of sport's most iconic teams. That Rennie's appointment on a contract through to the 2027 Rugby World Cup in Australia is significant for several reasons. Not only does it signal a fresh start following the tenure of Scott Robertson, but also marks a historic moment. Rennie becomes the first All Blacks head coach of Pacifica heritage, tracing his Cook Islands descent through his mother. In a nation where rugby is deeply interwoven with identity and community, that milestone resonates far beyond the field. At a return home with unfinished business at 62, Rennie returns to New Zealand after nearly a decade abroad. He is currently in charge of Japanese club Kobelco Kobe Steelers in Japan Rugby League One and will complete his commitments there before officially beginning his All Blacks duties in June. His first tests in charge are scheduled for July, when New Zealand face France, Italy, and Ireland in the opening block of the New Nations Championship. For Rennie, the journey back to the top job in New Zealand Rugby has not been straightforward. After leaving the Chiefs in 2017, he built a strong reputation overseas with Glasgow Warriors before taking on the challenge of coaching the Wallabies. His tenure with Australia ended abruptly when he was dismissed shortly before the 2023 Rugby World Cup in France. Since then, he has rebuilt his coaching stock in Japan, refining his methods and reconnecting with players in a different rugby culture. Now, he inherits the most scrutinized coaching position in world rugby: selection on merit. No loyalties. One of the clearest messages Rennie delivered during his unveiling in Auckland was that no player will be guaranteed selection. His approach is rooted firmly in form and performance. Whether I was coming back to this role or not, I watch every game of Super Rugby, Rennie explained. I'm not concerned about having an understanding of where players are at, but I'll watch it closely. He emphasized that players will have to earn the right to wear the black jersey. I've sort of got no loyalties, he said candidly. I don't come from a team where I've had a lot of these guys previously, and so I think that's really exciting. We'll select based on form. That statement may be interpreted as both a warning and an opportunity. Established internationals cannot rely on reputation alone, while emerging talents will know that standout performances in Super Rugby could open the door to national honors. Rennie's detachment from the previous regime could foster renewed internal competition, something the All Blacks have historically thrived upon. The overseas eligibility question currently: New Zealand's policy prevents overseas-based players from being selected for the All Blacks. However, Rennie acknowledged the importance of ensuring that the country's very best players are available for the 2027 Rugby World Cup. He stopped short of openly challenging policy, but hinted at a desire to explore ways to entice key figures back home. One name that inevitably surfaced was Brodie Retallick, the veteran lock and test centurion who plays under Rennie at Kobe. Rennie did not hold back in his praise. He's stronger than he's ever been. He's fitter than he's ever been, he said. If you want to win a World Cup, ideally, you've got your best players available. Retallick's experience, physical presence, and leadership could prove invaluable in a short World Cup cycle. Rennie's familiarity with him provides a unique perspective on the veteran's current condition and mindset. Another overseas-based star mentioned was Richie Mo'unga, who has been in fine form in Japan. Rennie acknowledged that Mo'unga's return would bolster the squad, particularly given the pivotal role the fly half plays in shaping the All Blacks' attacking identity. Balancing eligibility rules, player welfare, and national priorities will be one of Rennie's early challenges. Leadership conversations ahead while selection will be form-based. Rennie is not ignoring the importance of continuity and leadership. He revealed his intention to speak with key players who served under Robertson, including former captain Scott Barrett. I know Scott Barrett is a fantastic player and current captain, Rennie noted. I'd be keen to have a chat to him about going forward. Leadership alignment is critical in a compressed World Cup cycle. With roughly 15 months between the start of his tenure and the tournament in Australia, Rennie must quickly establish clarity around captaincy, senior player roles, and cultural standards within the squad. Those discussions will likely shape the team's direction, both on and off the field. Respect between rivals. Rennie's appointment followed a tightly contested selection process. Jamie Joseph was widely regarded as a leading candidate, and many believed he was well-positioned for the role. Rennie revealed that Joseph reached out to congratulate him. "I really appreciate his message. That just shows the class of the man," he said. Such gestures reinforce the strong relationships within New Zealand's rugby fraternity, even amid competition for its most prestigious position. Building the right coaching group, although Robertson's assistants, Scott Hansen, Jason Ryan, and Tamati Ellison, remain employed by NZR, Rennie has yet to finalize his coaching and management team. He made it clear that assembling the right staff will be a priority. "I've got a history of surrounding myself with quality people who can make a difference, and I'm keen to do that." He explained that Rennie's previous successes were built not only on tactical acumen, but also on strong support networks. At the Chiefs, his back-to-back Super Rugby titles were underpinned by clarity of roles and cohesive staff collaboration. Replicating that environment at national level will be vital. The immediate mountain to climb, the task ahead, is formidable. The All Blacks face a packed calendar, including the nation's championship and the continuation of their fierce rivalry with the Springboks. The Rugby World Cup in Australia looms just over a year away. "It will take a lot of work, it will take a lot of alignment," Rennie admitted. "It's a sprint from here. 15 months is a narrow window to refine combinations, test tactical systems, and foster resilience under pressure." Unlike a traditional 4-year cycle, Rennie does not have the luxury of gradual evolution. He must strike a balance between innovation and stability almost immediately. Style, identity, and expectation, the All Blacks are more than a rugby team. They are a symbol of national identity. Rennie acknowledged the weight of expectation and the cultural significance of the jersey. His emphasis on selecting players purely on merit suggests a desire to reinvigorate internal standards. At the same time, his openness to engaging senior players points to a collaborative leadership model. How the All Blacks play under Rennie will be closely scrutinized. His previous teams were known for structured attack, disciplined defense, and strong breakdown work. Translating those principles into a cohesive test match strategy will be central to New Zealand's hopes of lifting the Webb Ellis Cup in 2027, a defining chapter for Rennie personally. This is a defining chapter. Few coaching roles carry such global visibility and pressure. Success would cement his legacy among New Zealand's great rugby minds. Failure would invite intense scrutiny. Yet if his early words are anything to go by, he embraces the challenge. "Coaching the All Blacks is an incredible honor," he said. "I understand the expectations that come with it. From the promise of merit-based selection to the potential return of seasoned internationals, Rennie's blueprint is beginning to take shape." The coming months will reveal how quickly vision translates into results. One thing is certain. With a World Cup on the horizon and fierce rivals waiting, the sprint toward 2027 has already begun.